hour of 9 o'clock. I will call our meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Bobbitt.
Here.
Wrong.
Here.
Yes.
Here.
We do have a quorum. Pat, would you lead us in prayer this
Yes.
morning?
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us. We ask that you help guide and direct us as we go through our agenda. Help to make the right decisions for the entire county, for the betterment of the people that live here. We ask that you keep our workforce safe as we go through this week. Help keep them safe on the roads, to and from work. Help keep them hydrated in this very, very hot and sticky time. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Next, would you lead us in a salute to our flag, please?
Yes. Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I acknowledge that the agenda was properly posted in accordance to the open meeting.
All right, thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes for September 10th or the regular meeting.
I'll second that.
Hess moved, Ronk seconded to approve the agenda, the minutes for September 10th, 2018 regular meeting. All in favor?
Bobbitt.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. I'm out of ink. Just
This weather just drains the. I've drank, and I'm not a water drinker, and I've drank more water in the last week than I have in the last month.
comments from the public on the below agenda items.
None.
Yeah. Transfer appropriations. Do we have any? We do. We have a transfer from the treasurer requesting $500 from M&O to travel because her budget's not completed and she has insufficient travel appropriations. Now, is this on her?
It's on general.
On yeah.
Is that on the statutory travel?
Statutory travel or the?
No.
This is the 1310 is just regular travel.
Right. Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Is that the only one?
That's the only one.
I move to approve.
Second.
Ronk moved, has seconded to approve the transfer of appropriation for the treasurer's office for $500 from her M&O to the travel, regular travel. All in favor?
Bobbitt.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. P-card payment and approval for August 2018. We have for Highway District 2, we have a hotel room for Paul Matthews to go to the All Public Works Conference. And that's it, right? The fuel and the fuel.
The other one here was 50.
Is that, oh, here it is. Okay, I just need to keep looking. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
That's, and that's for $260.84. And then we have one for fuel on the same trip in Olathe for $57.01.
I thought you couldn't use that P card for hotel.
We didn't have the comp fuel travel going, so we got we got an addendum that we sent to Stephen Young, and Stephen said it's fine as long as we noted that we're in the process of getting our comp data fuel. And you got that? I don't see that here, but you've got it.
I got it. Yeah,
you got it from Stephen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the green.
The email.
The email.
The
Yes,
email.
I have the email.
Yeah, attach the email to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will do that.
All right. So,
Okay, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Contingent that paperwork follows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hess moved, Ronk seconds to approve the pre-card payment approval form for August of 2018 as long as the proper documentation of the email is included with it. All in favor?
Bobbitt.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. Today's the 17th, right?
This month's flying by.
No kidding. So we just signed the one paper, right? That's all
I believe
saw
so.
there. Okay, there we go.
Just the front one?
Just the front one. The rest of it's
And
all
then these are
paper.
part of the, but these are the purchase orders for that.
That will
so,
go with the
yeah,
purchase
yeah.
orders. Okay.
What?
Do we have a motion to review?
Yes, so moved.
I second that.
Ronk moved, has seconded to review the payment of purchase orders and travel claims. All in favor?
Bobbit.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. Let's see. Max, do you have any done?
I do not.
Okay,
but
you do
I'm
not.
getting,
Okay, that's fine.
getting close.
That is fine.
We have a road crossing. Are you aware of that? I didn't know if you needed to check with Robert. I think he said it was these two.
I thought,
Is that?
we did one for him last
Yeah, we did do one for
week.
Brandon. Just brought
This-
that to
That
me.
was an
This is a done one for
is that an
somebody.
electric one?
This one's complete.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, it was electric line.
This
last
one
week.
is a pipeline for salt water. A permanent one for salt
Was it
water.
golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that one last
Well,
week.
Well,
I think it was electric
line.
line. I'm
It
pretty
was.
sure it was electric. So this must be the. Now this
And what's the date of
one-
the check?
And this is a different location. This was Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday. So, and this is a different location. The other one was down here, and this one's going to be up there. I need to have Robert go look at
Okay.
this, but I mean, I'm sure it's okay. But
Yeah.
before we did all,
Here are the two different.
Okay, and these purchase orders went with that.
Well, they're
they're part of the
they're
purchase.
good, yeah.
She just wanted to make sure we approved that before we did those.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
that's how mine started, Max.
I know.
Started out sneezing.
Well, I've been sneezing
Have
today,
you? Yeah.
this weekend, so.
That's kind of when mine started.
Oh, yeah.
Over, well, Thursday.
Got worse.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Robert, King Golf came in Friday to do a saltwater pipeline. I didn't know if you crossing on a road at a different place than where the electric line was. I didn't know if you knew it. I'm going to take a picture and text it to you. Thanks, bye.
There's two more for Cindy. Cindy, I need a copy of this here, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Penny, did you turn your tolls in for your trip?
No, I don't know how to do that with a pipe pass.
Oh, I don't know either.
Yeah,
You get a statement. That's me too.
I never turned mine in either.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Yeah. Spend $4 in ink and paper, printing it all off just to get $1.50 back.
Well, the toll
that-
says
yeah,
$2.50.
$4.12.
Yeah, I was gonna say $2.50 a car, but with pipe pass it's probably like $2.40. So if you're saving, I don't know if you save a little or not. I can't remember.
$2.50 the first toll.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then if you go, yeah, you're right. Which I get a statement. Do you get a statement on this?
Is it really?
I use mine more than I want to. Because like I go to this but it's nice because now you can use the Oklahoma one in other states.
Yeah, that is nice. I just don't understand why we have to slow down and raise
You don't have to.
and you do. They have the fast flashing light if they slow down the code.
I think it's for the
Yeah.
I just
it's for
ignore
the
it.
people working in there. Toll booth. Think about sitting at your desk and someone going by you.
I do like the way they have a lot of them now where the pipe pass it just keeps going at 70 and the ones who pay have to put it
Yeah.
off.
I haven't got my letter back yet
From
for the Turnpike Authority, where I went through the pipe pass lane and I didn't have a pipe pass.
oh, you'll get it.
It'll catch up with you eventually, yeah.
Now in Texas, you don't have to have a pass or anything. They just find you and send you a bill
Like
for like $1.45.
Yeah.
I pulled over and walked back to the deal, and the guy brought me a ticket, and he said in about 12 to 14 days you'll get a letter from the state. And I haven't got the letter yet. He said just keep a copy of this ticket and you can prove to him that you paid. So I said okie dokie.
This meeting will now come to order.
That was nothing but labor on our elevator. $1,568. That's all labor. That's all it is. They
And
just
that
came
was-
and cleaned off the top of the elevator.
Was that when it broke down?
Uh-huh.
To me, that's something because the crew that they left some mail or something. That's what caused that.
I don't know. I think you ought to take a copy of this one and turn it into them because we ought to be reimbursed
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
for them not taking care of that. So
Yeah.
you need to get a copy and ask for reimbursement
Okay.
from.
I'll see what I can do. Yeah, because it was because of the workers. They found a big piece of copper or something. That
Yeah.
So it got stuck in the cable. That's ridiculous. $1,000.
1,500. Yeah, travel time. The travel time was $980 to travel here, 2.5 hours, and then the time to the callback time and the labor was $588.
Wow.
Hour and a half.
That's pretty steep. You need an elevator to get over that bill.
Yeah.
They're supposed to have something on the materials request form from CEDA.
Yes. Yes, and I sent an email to you, but the email had a line on it, and you know what? I think I left that. I was working on that at home. I think I left that at my house. So we're going to have to use that yucky copy because I left the original at my house.
Oh,
I was
okay.
working on that at home.
Okay.
So it was in the email.
Okay.
It's scanned in the email. It just had a blue line.
Oh,
on
okay.
it.
Well, let me have Mindy come in
yeah,
and while you guys
or
are doing
just tell
this.
her, if you can't, I can always send it. You want me to just send it to Mindy?
Yeah, send it to Alex.
Send it to Alex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please. Hello. Cindy is going to email something to Alex. Will you have her print it out and then someone bring it over, please? Thank you. Bye.
I can find it.
I looked for the crowd, but I didn't
Bless you.
We were the ones wearing them.
He's the only ones in the stands that had that on.
I don't know why you didn't see me.
I can't
No,
either.
some of them had white because they were striped.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we.
Some of them were just holding them up.
Let's see, and we're going to have Scott sign off on this deal that we're complete to that much. You know, on these.
Okay, I can.
Yeah.
It's a fun game to watch. So.
I bet.
I did have him look at it.
Okay.
Did you see Mahomes last night? Kansas City played Kansas City.
I caught the last part of that game.
He throwed for 5 or 6 touchdowns.
Yeah. But they tried to lose that in the end.
Yeah, they did.
Thank you.
You gotta put your goggles back on.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey,
Well, hi, Jeff. What do you know?
Monday, that's all I know.
Right.
Tis that day.
How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Okay, whose phone bills are those? Okay,
Says District 1.
yeah, those are all out of county general.
Oh, yeah, they shouldn't be in
No.
County General.
Sorry, no.
What?
Was it?
Trying to pay your phone bills out of county general. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't notice.
So we need to have.
That
You
has-
talking about that Pioneer telephone?
Yes,
You
yeah.
want to
Okay.
look at it
Yeah.
before I change it?
Yeah, and then I think that's Brandon, so it'd come out of EN.
No,
not out of
don't
county.
give it
Those
to
are
him because
both-
he'll run off with
Those
it.
are both county. Those are both county general numbers, and they need to be
It does say
I
general
wasn't even
government.
looking at that number.
Well, part of it's Brandon's.
There's Brandon's, but it ought to be out of
Oh.
his EM. It's also out of county general.
Yeah. Work on that.
Okay. Max will need to sign the top of that one.
Oh, it's not.
Well, you guys do.
New air conditioning, new windows, new roof, sealed the brick.
I know Alfalfa just went through that about a year ago. They called up their meetings on me. You almost had to work under a flashlight when you were there for a couple of months. I mean, they had to get everything torn out.
They just started tearing this out. It was last week, wasn't it?
So when I was up here, looking at it,
They've been working up on the third and second floor.
That might be part of your allergies too.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I'm gonna go get a shot this afternoon. Since Thursday, I've just been.
it's going around.
Yeah.
Every one of my kids have had it. They gave it to me.
Yeah, I was around my grandkids the weekend before, and then they ended up all having it. And then I went to a conference and was around a whole bunch of people. And just basically hibernated all weekend. That felt horrible.
Okay, this has got the maintenance guy on there too and stuff.
Oh, okay. Wait, what was this? What's that, Max? Right there that they broke the 88 out of? Is that one of those?
Where at? Here?
Yeah. Is that
8864.
is that maybe that's supposed to be Scott? Is it Scott and it should be Scott should be broke out and so should
Brandon.
Brandon.
Oh. So there should be 3 POs.
Yes, there should be 3 POs. Do we have time to send that back
So
to get
when's
it
that
quick?
due?
Yeah, when's that due? If we'd have time to set it back and get it all straightened out, it might be a better plan.
Yeah.
Okay, this is mine and Tim's here.
Tim? Oh,
My road
your road
foreman.
car. Not, I was thinking Tim working on Tim.
Here's emergency management.
And then you got to add the 911 fees and all the tax onto it.
Yeah, and here's
Brandon.
Brandon's, no Scott's.
Oh.
When's that bill due, Max? Is it the 25th? It seems like those are due.
25th.
Yeah.
Due date the 15th.
Oh, due.
Past due after the 15th.
Well,
What? We're already past due.
Yeah. Maybe she could run. It's gonna have to have that one split out from.
Where'd that thing
Where'd it go?
Gonna have to send that
Yeah.
over there to get it refigured.
Here. Come on, right there.
Well, whatever, we'll have to get them
Yeah,
divided back out. I see AT&T's got one for emergency manager for
Okay,
7
now
or 8.
wait a minute. Okay, here's. Is this the same bill, Max? Or is that a different bill? That is your landline.
This is just a copy.
I bet that's his landline and internet.
Yeah, I bet so too.
And not the and that's your cell, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, and here's another one. Pioneer.
she's got them broke out.
I don't know. Let's see what. Yeah, maybe.
Because
Let's see
here's-
which ones those all are.
These are all the same invoice.
Okay.
And these are all, this is the original, then here's copies.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
That's
So-
some here.
Okay.
This is my
so
this is my
so-
fax machine.
so
here.
how come that
Go
one
back.
was like 300 and some bucks?
See,
Pay-per-view?
Do they all add those
Well,
three up? Do they come up
They
to
Yep.
should
total?
come
Holy
up to the
cow, you gave us
341,
pay-per-view.
51.
yep, it is.
Okay. Okay. Here.
Yeah,
Let me see.
yeah.
Let me see them.
Okay,
Plain Army.
those should add
I'm
up to this.
sorry,
And
okay.
then he's got another one, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the same one.
I
or
think that's
different.
his
Thing.
landline.
Okay.
I think.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So this one was
80.
Did you know that?
Who is
Yeah,
this?
That'd be
Yeah,
general
I
government.
just
General.
was.
That's
So that'd
probably
be-
Scott.
yeah,
That'd be
26.
I bought
Scott.
tickets to it because
And then
I knew it was pay-per-view.
that'd be his faxes, and then 8864 would be Brandon's.
Brandon's, which isn't that
Oh, yeah.
2700, so I bet that is right, because
And he said, oh yeah, next week's
2700 is
gonna be
GM, I
such a
believe.
charge.
Do you have the
He's over all motors guys in Oklahoma. He's over there on all the motorcycle guys. And he said,
I just don't remember
next
all.
weekend they have
I'll just buzz it.
Just hey, I'll just put a note on here.
Okay,
Make
but
sure
I think
this
that's,
is.
yeah, that it's EM, but I'm pretty sure that's what 2700 and all initial off on it.
There's another ink pen.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yours came through. Here you go.
I've got another one there.
Okay. We'll refill these.
Well, now.
And then I'll bring it back to you, okay?
Coming to OU, the big game. Apparently
Okay,
a bunch of them are coming in, and
Alrighty.
who knows what that's going to cost.
Yeah.
So
So what time is that? Yeah.
It's at 6 o'clock.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna pull these
Same
all
time
out
zone.
so you can look at them.
Okay.
You guys have been getting primetime spots.
That's about stinking time.
Yep.
I like those 2:30 kicks. I like those 11 o'clock kicks myself. A lot of big tailgaters don't like that.
I know.
I don't
Yeah.
after a Friday night football game.
Well, that's true. Now, when we're on the road, I like the earlier the better. I hate those 7 o'clock games on the road at prime time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Slick.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
She had LASIK surgery, so she has to wear sunglasses. But she said, I can see without my real glasses.
I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I don't wear them ever.
Ever. You just went to bed.
Well, it's really bad. I'm laying in bed and I've got a pretty decent, I mean, not huge, but big enough TV in my bedroom. I have to ask my wife, what channel is that? Say that's on? Can't even see what
Yes,
the
a
channel is.
60-inch TV.
Yeah, it's up there in the corner. And I
And it
can't
has
tell
it
what
on
channel.
magnify. You have it on magnify.
I still
Use your phone to.
When it's running that little beam across the bottom and you can't read that.
See, I'm too far away, but I can't see it close.
see, I'm the opposite. If it gets right here, I'm great, but as it gets further away,
I'm getting that way. My wife went to the eye doctor the other day, and he told her, he said, well, you can either get glasses in a year or you can start wearing readers now.
Yeah. That's what I just wear, readers. So I have about like 50 pairs. Max just wears readers. Too.
Yep, that's all I do. Readers.
Readers.
but they all
Are
make
yours
those.
readers?
You can find them pretty inexpensive. But I would have a pair to lay next to the bed. But they don't make any of the cheap readers that are far away. Everything's
No,
close up
that's
stuff.
true.
I would have a pair if I could just lay by the bed for
Mhm.
like
Oh, yeah.
seeing the TV or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't make any
I laughed.
$20 glasses
I-
like that at Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
I was talking to this lady and I said, oh, I like your glasses. And I said, oh, I have a pair like that. They have little lights on them. She goes, no, they don't. I said, yeah, look. She goes, well, how do you turn them on? She goes, I can't see that when I don't have the glasses on. so I showed her, and I have a pair kind of like them too. And they have a little switch up here, and it's got a little light right here and right here.
Oh, big one.
So we got a good kick out of it. You want something to drink? Some
I
water or
am
coffee or
good.
something?
I'm on coffee number 2 already, so. I'll come to these meetings anytime anytime you got one. It gets me out of a conference call.
There you go.
We have a Monday morning conference call every Monday morning.
Really?
And it goes in there and everybody, I think it's the same stuff.
At least they don't do it right after lunch.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They are boring. Good news is I just have to call in and put it on mute. Just listen.
That's what POs we've ever had, I think. Do we have a motion to approve the payment of purchase orders and travel claims?
I so move.
Second.
Hess moved, Ronk seconded to approve the payment of purchase orders and travel claims as presented. All in favor?
Bobbit.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. Do we have any blankets?
I saw a blanket floating around here earlier.
There it is. We have a motion to approve the blanket.
So moved.
Second.
Ronk moved, Hess seconded to approve the blanket purchase order. All in favor?
Bobbit.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. Don't forget to sign the top of it. Let's see.
I make a motion to approve the materials request form for CD8 for District 2 for a project crack seal of County Road 960 and Grady Road.
Second.
Hess moved, Ronk seconded to approve the materials request form to the CED 8 for D2 crack seal project. All in favor?
Bobbit.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. That brings us down to bid 21-2018 for Bridge 192 D2. We need a motion to open the bid.
So moved.
Second.
Ronk moved, has seconded to open bid 21-2018 construction only on Bridge 192 and D2. All in favor?
Bobbit.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. The first bid is railroad yard. It is, the bridge labor is $32,500. The pile driving beyond 40 foot is at $20 a foot. So that would be 30. So anything over would be $20 a foot over 40 feet. It looks like all the paperwork is there. The second bid is on 192 is from Dietz Welding. And it is $28,110, and it's $50 per foot over 40 feet. And so all the paperwork is there. And we didn't have one from
River Ridge?
River Ridge. Maybe that first one's River Ridge, not Railroad. I thought it said RRY. Was that Railroad or River
Railroad.
Ridge?
The blue. Yeah, that was railroad.
Is that
Yeah, I'm looking.
You know, we had the girls will make sure there's not.
Cause yeah, he
Said he was one. We did. Hi. Did we get anything from River Ridge?
No, it's
Yeah, on the
the envelope. It says railroad yard.
Yeah, it's railroad yard.
It's Railroad. Yeah.
Okay, and will you just double check and make sure there's nothing else in there?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Just materials.
No, they've got a
Pretty good at it too.
Thank you.
Really?
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
They're all shaking their head no.
Okay. There's those two. I'm going to table those for review.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Second.
Second. Oh,
Okay.
I'll third.
Bobbit moved, Ronk seconded to table for review. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
aye.
All ayes, motion carried unanimously. Open bid 22-2018.
I make a motion we open 22-18.
Second.
Hess moved, Ronk seconded to open 22-2010 for unidentified bridge known as Dobson Bridge. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
All ayes, motion carried unanimously. Okay, the first one is Railroad Yard. And it's the same bid. They bid $32.5 on the bridge and then $20 per foot over 40 feet.
Is it coming down? All the crackling and everything.
The next bid is from Dietz. And his bid is $31,000 with $50 per foot over 40 feet. And that's the only two bids. I would make a motion to table for further review.
Second. Okay.
You second it.
Okay, Bobbit moved. Hess second to table. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
All ayes, motion carried unanimously. Bid number 24-2018, D3 Mack truck. I would make I'd suggest the motion be to open all three of those.
Yes. I move to open bids number 24, 25, 26-2018 for the 3 Mack trucks for District 3.
I'll second that motion.
Ronk moved, Hess seconded to open 22-2018, 25-2018, and 26-2018, each for 1 Mack truck. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carried unanimously. We might try to keep them together, but we'll open them all.
Here's 24.
24. The first one, 24. Yeah, the first bid is from Dollar Trucking. And the bid is $69,000. And on number 24 is from Bruckner's. And their bid is $62,500. Next bid is number 25.
Oh, is it just those two?
No, yeah, just those two on
Okay.
24.
Two received on each.
24.
Okay.
And on 25, we have one from Dollar Trucking. And there is $68,500 on that truck. And the other bid is from Bruckner. The bid on that one is $62,500. And on bid number 26, we have Dollar Trucking. A bid is $69,500. And Bruckner, that's a a little baby paper clip. Number 20 is from Bruckner, and it is 62.5.
60 what?
62.5.
So 62.5 on all three.
On Bruckner bid 62.5 on all three of them. Dollar bid 69 on the first one, 68.5 on the second one, and 69.5 on the third one.
I moved to table.
Second.
Ronk moved, Hess seconded to table for review. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. Cindy would probably put all those
We'll
bids
see
back
all these.
on for
Oh,
next
God,
week.
as long as
for
I know
that's
nothing,
it.
there shouldn't be different there.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good rest of your week.
Thank you, Joe.
You're
Alrighty.
welcome.
There you go.
Hope you get felt better.
I will, thank you. I'm gonna go get, the doctor's gonna help me at that just later today.
Do you want to call Alex, tell her the POs are ready to pick up?
Hi, POs are ready. Thank you.
Item K, state expenditures for the DA's office reimbursement. Reimbursement is the amount of, oh wait, that's the,
Oh, sorry. Here, I'm sorry, here's the.
okay, sorry, the DA's. The DA's is in the amount of $480.54 for reimbursement on his expenditures. M&O, do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Hess moved, Ronk seconded to approve the reimbursement for state expenditures from the district attorney's office. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. The next one is the state payroll voucher for the election.
It's just you to
Yeah,
sign?
I'll just
Okay.
sign it.
Okay.
Let you
Yeah,
guys
that's
look
right.
at it.
I always forget.
The state payroll voucher, $2,984.92 with reimbursement for $2,550.12. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
Ronk moved, Hess seconds to approve the payroll claim voucher for the election board. Total amount was $2,984.92 with reimbursement approved to $2,550.12. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. We have declaration to surplus 2018-117 and computer tower inventory C218-35 from the treasurer's office. Purchased March 5th of 2013 for $900. Do we have a motion to?
I make a motion to surplus.
Second.
Yeah, decoration surplus.
Hess moved, Ronk seconded to approve the surplus for the computer tower from treasurer's office, inventory C218-35, amount of $900, purchased on March 5th, 2013. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously.
I move to dispose.
Second.
Okay. Ronk moves, Hess seconds to dispose by junking. The computer will be destroyed for the treasurer's office for the said computer tower that was purchased. Who was it purchased from? We don't have that. We're supposed to have that on. I thought we had that on here. Oh well. Purchased March 5th, 2013. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Ronk,
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. I need to table that. I haven't heard back from Robert on that.
I'll second that.
Okay. Bobbit moved. Hess seconded to table the road crossing for further review. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. Resolution 2018-119 Grant County Fairground Improvement Repayment Agreement per ADA Young.
He didn't ever bring me anything.
Oh, he's got that. He had a resolution. Do you want to
I
call?
mean,
He might have it. Call him, and he probably has it with him. Tell him
Okay.
what it is.
Hi, Stephen. It's Cindy. I'm in the board meeting. Do you have the resolution for the grant? Okay, we're ready. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Man, I think these are yours, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I just
Get
community usage.
Gotcha. I got one hid under here.
Yeah. Cindy, you can go ahead and put the back trucks back on next week.
Cindy, I just heard back from Robert, and he said that crossing's good. So if we can go
Okay,
back
sure.
up to that, I would move to approve.
I'll second.
Bobbitt moved, Hess seconded to return to item O and to approve the road crossing permit from Puller Oil Company. All in favor?
Bobbitt.
Aye.
Wrong.
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously, and we'll need to sign that. Alrighty. We are down to item P, resolution 2018-119, the Grant County Fair Improvement.
Thank you.
2018-19?
Yeah, 2018-119, yes.
119 or
Yes.
119?
Yes, 119, I'm sorry. Yes.
Morning.
Good.
You have the floor. Go right
Okay.
for it.
Yes.
It's my understanding that the board has approved the transfer of $25,047.16 from the general fund to the Grant County Fair Improvement Fund. This is to cover expenses that the Fair Board does not currently have funds to pay for. On the warrant, it says I approved the transfer. I'm going to make it clear that while you can legally transfer funds, I don't think it's a good idea to expend monies that you don't have monies for, and I just want to make that clear. That said, Cindy and I talked about how the amount was to be repaid, and she indicated to me that it should come from the sales tax dollars that are due to the Fair Board before any other expenses are taken out of the sales tax dollars. Further, we thought it would be a good idea that the board review the repayment on a monthly basis to ensure that it gets repaid, because the statute requires that the repayment to have occur in the current fiscal year. And so I prepared a resolution for that, and I'm handing that to Cindy now.
I looked at this earlier. That's when I've looked at it. here are the last 5 months of the sales tax that has been collected, so you'll know kind of where we were.
Is that got August on it too?
No, I do not have August. That just has July, March to July, shows you what we collected. It was comparing it to 2017, but I showed you what we collected in 2018 for those months. So, are you guys good with it?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All
Yeah.
right.
It looks like you should get it paid.
Oh yeah.
Pretty quick.
2 to 3 months.
Yeah, pretty quick. There will be no problem
There's-
getting it paid before the end of the fiscal year. So,
Well, I
okay.
just want to make sure they didn't get fall through the cracks.
And we, in part of this is we're going to make sure it's on the agenda.
Yes.
The second guy. Okay.
Yeah, on a monthly basis.
Yes, on the
yeah.
it's the second. Did we put it on
Second
the second
Monday.
Monday? The second Monday of each month.
Okay.
That allows us to make sure we do our appropriations on the first
then
Monday, and
as
then
soon
we'll
as it
know.
appropriated,
Yeah, then we'll know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll
And
get
then how do
prepared.
we need to do the method of repayment back? Do you want it to be a PO back
It
to
needs-
the county like where
Yeah,
it's
we
clear.
need to do something where it's clear that it's a
Track.
repayment back
rather
for
than
those
just a
amounts.
Yeah.
So that way
You
the auditors
do
can,
it that way.
Track
rather-
it.
Like you said with the
that way the auditors can see it, track it.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Ronk moved, Hess seconded to approve Resolution 2018-119 with the Grant County Fair improvements. All in favor?
Robert,
Aye.
Ron,
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously.
Yes, yes, that's all it covers. If there's any additional amounts, we'll have to address those separately, yes.
While you're here, Stephen, I would like to move down to item 8, new business. I'd make a motion to move to item 8, new business.
Second.
Bobbit moved, Ronk seconded to move down to item 8, new business. All in favor?
Robert,
Aye.
Ron,
Aye.
Hess.
All.
Aye.
Oh.
Yeah, excuse me.
All ayes, motion carried unanimously. I sent you an email Friday after the agenda was posted about the wind farm deal going on in
Yes.
Grant County and Kay County. Did you have an opportunity to
I
review?
did review that.
Can you bring us up to speed as to where, I sent that also to you guys.
Yes, I got it.
Can you bring us up to speed to where we are in that, on litigating that?
We've retained Mark Tisdale to represent the county. I went on ahead and forwarded that article to Mark Tisdale. They're still in the discovery phases of the litigation. Nothing's been set for summary judgment. That'll probably be the first phase. Both sides will probably file some sort of summary judgment motion. The court will have to rule on that.
Is this lawsuit filed independently in our counties, or is it jointly? Is this
Kay and Grant
Yeah,
together?
is it Kay and Grant? Are they versing Kay and Grant together, or are they versing Kay and then they versing
As
Grant?
far as I know, they have just sued us separately. So there's
Sep-
not been any motion to try to join those.
Would there be any advantage for us to join those so that we have legal counsel, not duplicating, but sharing in that?
Well,
And
there's probably there probably would be a judicial interest in joining those together for judicial expediency, so that you're not you don't have different opinions at the district court level. You just have one opinion that would go up, and those cases could be joined. The parties could be joined, but you'd have to do it by agreement, because the proper venue for suing
I was in your respective
is in
county
your
or respective counties.
and so somebody would have to waive venue to move those and join.
Is it okay? So is it just Blackwell Industrial Authority, or is it Blackwell Industrial Authority and Rock Falls that are in the lawsuit?
It's, as far as I know, it's just the trust.
Blackwell Authority.
Just Blackwell.
It's the trust is suing.
Yeah, because they're saying
They're saying that they're the owners of that, and
So they're going to sue the county and the assessor, because and it's gone through all the legal channels with the excise and the Board of Equalization. We've done all of those steps,
Yeah,
right?
it's in front of the district court now.
Is K County the same? Do you know if K County's with us? I mean, do you know if they've done all that?
I don't know where K County is. I would assume they are in the same position. But all of that stuff's with Brian Hermanson, so it's...
Well, their commissioners aren't even aware of it. So I talked to a couple of them over this weekend, and some of them weren't even aware of it. So I didn't know if they had actually filed suit there, and if it had actually gone through their boards, because they know nothing about it. So
I can't imagine how they wouldn't.
It went through their excise board because it was all discussed when we had that.
Well, we don't, but the commissioners don't necessarily attend the excise board.
Yeah,
you know.
But I mean,
But we've hired Tisdale, and whether they hired an attorney or not, or if that has to go through the board if they hire an attorney. But that
Correct.
So do you?
But the board would also be aware of it because they would be.
They're trying to get their budget done too, just like everybody else. They would be
a party to the lawsuit, and those documents would have to go in front of them.
I think so too. So, but I just wanted to make sure where we were.
Yeah, we're covered.
Okay.
Mark's got us
covered. Okay. I'd kind of like to keep an update on this so that we do know where it is.
I'll reach out to Mark and ask him for a status update, and then I can update you again next Monday on that.
That would be good. All right. Thank you. Is there any other new business, Cindy, that needs to come before the board? Since we're on new business.
No.
I don't have any.
Well, I guess this can be in the renovation thing. We just need to kind of look at.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be new business especially if we got.
Other than that, no, we're good.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you.
Thanks. I make a motion to move back to item Q.
To item Q.
Isn't that the
second
next one on our?
Yes. Hess moved. Ronk seconded to move from item 8 to item Q. All in favor?
Robert.
Aye.
Ron.
Aye.
Hess.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously. Brandon has got my paperwork. He's supposed to be copying all that.
Oh, I even want to you don't read my emails? That's what she keeps saying. He thought it was 10 o'clock and I emailed him and said, no, I put you at 10:30 because I don't read your emails. we have this.
My wife started out.
Oh man, you can't change in midstream.
My wife said something to me this morning. She said, "You're not listening to me," and I said, "Why are you starting out a conversation like that?"
Does the other officer Cindy know that we might give them a call and make sure that they know that we're ready for them?
Hello. We're going to go over the draft of the budget if you want to come down. Are you in the middle of? Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye.
We had you down, guys, at 10:30. So yeah. Okay.
Hi. I'm listening to some other people. We're getting ready to go over the budget if anyone wants to come in and. Yeah, it's kind of hidden down at the bottom. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. And Robin's coming. Dina said she'll try to make it down.
Scott.
Hi, it's Cindy. Crap. Is Scott around today, do you know? Oh, he's in laundry. Okay. Okay, alright. We were just going over budget stuff, so.
You're using AT&T.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
Are you
Thank
using
you.
AT&T?
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good so far.
Scott.
I don't have any issues.
I've had big issues.
You have on the new one?
Mine won't work. It's not a little work. Oh yeah, I didn't even bring it. I had my husband take it because he's traveling to see if he could get it to work.
Is that your business?
My home. I'm my personal. Excuse me. Let's see. All right, I think we have everybody here. Scott Sterling is in Lawton today, so he went with us. First of all, if everybody turn to the very last page of your budget, the very last page. And in the very bottom box down there, the very last number says approved by the County Excise Board. That $5,898,470.01 is the money that we actually have available. That is the budget we have to stay within. And you can see, if you look at the box beside it, what we've all requested totals $7,491,503.96. So we're asking, you know, for more money than we have. If you'll skip over to the page right before it on the very bottom line down here, that was our budget last year, $5,923,274.65. That was the money that we had last year and what we appropriated. So you can see that last year we had 5.9, this year we have available 5.8. So we're already starting with fewer dollars than we had available last year. So let's just keep that in mind as we go work through our budget. So again, we will just roughly go over it. The district attorney's office, and if you look, the two numbers you need to keep in mind they're always going to be the same. The first number you need to look at is going to be what is in this line right here. Like on the district attorney, he's asked for $12,075. Last year he asked for $12,075. So this is last year what was approved and what was approved, and then what he's asking for. So his is basically the same. So as you work down there, so you see the district attorney was $12,075. You will see that the law library is $1,741.84, and last year it was $1,708. He said it's going up just based on the cost of books. On the county sheriff, last year he was approved for $458,250. This year he's asking for $495,125. So he's asking for about a $32,000 difference there, and all of that is in wages. The $5,000 is in juvenile detention, and this that has to be. And we had a mistake last year. We drew down on a cash fund that we put money into out of county general instead of drawing on this, and it should have came out of this. So he has been using that. It just doesn't show up. We're getting that corrected for this year. His statutory travel is $7,200. Going down to the county treasurer, she has asked for $128,652.94. Last year she asked for $135,705. She did have amount lapse of in reserves of. She actually spent $133. So she is not at. And I think there's a couple of mistakes, and I don't think it's on yours, Penny. But I know that he's got some of these figures on the wrong line. And I don't know on yours if that's true. Did you ask for $15,000? I can't remember. Part-time help?
Part-time.
Okay, you did. All right, gotcha. And then your statutory travel was the $5,800 and...
$4,800.
48. Okay. See, we're going to have him, because we've got two different we have two account numbers, right?
And he didn't know
so,
that.
yeah, so I'll work with him and tell him that we need to have two lines for that. 48.
So that should be 4,800.
And then 1,000 other. It's the total is 58, but we've now, the auditors wants us to split out our statutory travel, so we'll have to be dealing with that. And then capital outlay, $16,000. What did you say you had in mind on that for the capital outlay of $16,000?
And that's about what it's been running for programming.
Programming.
Programming is like $12,000.
Okay. And you're still paying your web page out of your cash account. Gotcha. Okay. And then $2,000 for lease rental. All
I
right.
have a question now.
Uh-huh.
Our evaluations are up. I realize that there's the protest that is outstanding. Why is the figure smaller?
That's a buddy question.
No, it's not. I think what it is you're talking about the delayed reaction to the five-year manufacturing exemption. Is that not right?
I just gave him the budgets, and he put the numbers in.
Well, we got to know what we're dealing with. Because
Well,
the evaluations are up.
when I met with him, and I didn't bring that paper, I don't know why. I must have left it on my desk at work, where I talked last week about how he said our money is going to be down.
I talked to him too,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to make sure that I had given him everything I needed to for him, to get balanced and everything. And he said that the evaluations are up. The only thing that is different is that 5-year manufacturing. We'll get that money. It may not be within this fiscal year. That's our only problem, and we're looking at $600,000 is what we're looking at.
But we can't put it in our budget if we don't know we're going to have it.
Yeah.
You cannot put it in your budget. It may be, it might not be in this fiscal.
Are up,
Mhm.
and are we using the assessor's figures on the evaluations being up?
Although I gave it to Buddy. If he has whatever you have.
Have you talked to Buddy about it?
No, I haven't. We're right there with, last year our total was $235,192,650, and this year is $253,318,609. So we're up a little.
Well, I think it probably has to do with the manufacturing deal, but if it's like everything else, we don't know what fiscal year we'll receive it in, and you can't budget for it if you don't know when you're going to receive it.
But it's not $2 million. It's not $2 million difference. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm confused with that one too.
So, this is what Buddy gave me. I will ask him. I can't answer the question right now because I do not know the answer. This is the numbers he gave me. I had no reason to question him on the numbers.
And not questioning on.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that.
I think it's important that we all understand before we start whittling away our budget.
But it's not $2 million, is it? Because
it's $100,000.
It's $100,000.
Well,
that's
what we
people.
asked.
No, we've asked for 7.9, but all we've got available.
2 million.
It's less than 100
in budgets.
But compared to last year, we're I'll tell you
5,000 for 5,923,274.
It's about $24,000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty minimal.
We didn't ask for $2 million.
Yeah, we got $24,000 less money this year than we had last year, and so all I'm saying is, I don't know if it's a trend. I don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm just pointing that out. I'm just pointing that out for everybody to know. That's just, we need to keep this all in mind.
So, the gravy may not always be there.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to try to be conservative.
Well, there are some counties that was on the gravy train and they didn't get off in time. So
yeah, it may not always be there.
Right. So
okay, let's go on.
Yeah, the commissioners last year was 218,811. This year it's 221,154. The only difference on that is a 5% increase was included for DESI, raising it from 1365 to 1433. Yeah, 1433. That was the wages. I know your budget included wages for 1550. I know some of them were different. The OSU Extension Office last year was 30,439, and this year they're asking 30,229. It's pretty much the same as it was last year. And on yours, Cassie, they he got that number on the wrong line. That 5539 needs to go down. That's what I said. Some of these might not be on the right line, so we're going to double check those numbers again. The county clerk last year was 151,034. This year it's 147,838.40. I would like to note that Mindy had been on the county clerk's budget. She is moving Mindy over to recording. That's really where her wages should come out. And last year she had part-time help, and she was asking for that Jenna to be full-time on that budget. She's asked for, I'm not sure, you asked $3,000 for some capital outlay.
Yeah.
What did you have in mind? Anything?
We need printer and a computer.
Okay, a printer and a computer, okay. The travel is less than it was. That would include the statutory. The court clerk last year was $120,600. This year it's $126,600 basically. That, as you know, the court clerk always gives us money for utilities. It was at $15,000 this year. It used to be $18,000, and we do appreciate that very much on our budget. And you'd ask for an increase for your girls for their wages. So
well, most of that is for Adrian's health insurance.
that would go in benefits. That doesn't come on here.
Yeah.
That goes in benefits.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so.
But then I also pay that.
Right, exactly. You don't. Yeah, we don't. We end up. Adrian costs like $6,600 or $6,000. $6,000 a year is what Adrian costs our county. Yeah, so it's minimal. Right. But what was the? I don't remember. Would have to look on the wage increase. The county assessors last year was $107,705. This year is $110,319. On this one, he did on this one take out statutory travel $6,000 and then $9,000 on your other. So it's basically the same as it was last year. It's very close. I think you asked for a pay increase up to $14.75 an hour on your employees. On reval, last year was $219,209, and this year is $223,834. Again, that one line on M&O where he's got the $52,250, that needs to be broke down because your contractual service is the $48,250. So that isn't the. I know you're not asking that for that in your M&O, so we'll get that corrected. And the $100,000 is for the legal, and probably be using that.
We're not going to get a raise at all.
We're just going through what we're asking. I'm just going through what everybody asked.
Well, I'm just saying.
You asked for a 14. You asked for a raise of.
That's last year. This year.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm just going through and bringing everybody up to what they've done in the past.
Okay.
And what we're doing. In county general, you can see the contingency last year. If you look at that, it was 1.3 million last year. This year it's pretty close. The difference is, though, if you see the contingency, the line 20F is contingency. Last year we had $725,000. That is our savings account. And this year it's $675,000. And that number, you know, if in reality would be zero. If we fill everything, we would have no savings. If we, you know, if you started there with your money, and you just can't start there with a zero. So the excise board was $5,800 last year, $5,800 this year. Our county election asking for 50% wage increase on the county officer, a little bit on her help. The big difference we see here when I was talking to Buddy is your M&O. Last year it was $7,954. This year you're asking for $3,000. With the county general election coming up in November, you can't do it for $3,000. You cannot reduce your M&O and still hold an election. You have to have the money in the bank to hold the election. So that's going to have to be increased. And so that budget is not a workable budget. Insurance, and Robin or Dina, this is where the deal was. Okay. And he just put in the total that you asked for, Cindy. He didn't itemize it out, and I don't know why, but he didn't. So we'll have to get that itemized back out like it's supposed to be. So we have to fund each one of those accounts. So that one is there. Going to the next page is our charity. Last year we asked for 5, this year 8, and the reason we increased that is that's our indigent citizens that we have to bury, and we need to get a marker put up. A marker is around $3,000, and I am trying to get that donated, so that still may be donated, but if it isn't, we still got to do it, so I put it in, it's in the budget. We had another one of those today. Okay.
Yeah.
Another indigent. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is our recording account. This is where Mindy's wages have been moved over to this account, and then you will see on M&O the $43,232, and that is to get all of our records online. It has been a slow process right now. Currently our records are only online going back to 95?
Yeah, 94.
95.
Well, we're converting all the ones that are black into
reverse.
Yeah.
But it would get everything you have digitalized.
like 100, well, whatever. I mean, it's 134,000 images or something. But when I was at the conference, I want to kind of check on another product
Okay.
too.
Well, I was talking
yes.
I was talking to Buddy about that, and Buddy said the prices you got are really good. He said most of them, a lot of counties are trying to get their records up to date, especially with that. And he said most of them are around $150,000 to $200,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, so
I'll have to confirm whether that's all of the records, but I know it's 134,000 some, and I'll have to see how.
Okay.
But it's a good chunk of them.
okay. And then moving right along down on the library, you'll see in the past we've given out $1,700. This year they've requested $2,000, $1,000 each. Cost of books have gone up too. The next page is the emergency manager. Last year was $46,400. This year is $99,250. The big difference here is the hazardous mitigation grant. We have to have the money in the bank. It is 75% reimbursable, but you have to have the money budgeted before, because it's a pay first and reimburse later.
Yeah,
so it has to be in there.
Yeah, the majority of that will come back to the county. So.
And with a large increase for wages as well. We did forget the reward fund, Cindy, so I'll need to do
so
that. It'll be $1,000.
Okay.
We just keep it at
I'll get it.
$1,000. It's the same as it always is. We have never had to use it, but it has to be there in the event we need it. The next one is the county auditor budget, and Cindy had reached out to Cheryl Wilson with the state auditors to figure that. You will have to figure prior years less what has been paid for prior years, because we have paid some out. So you'll deduct out what we've paid on those prior. Like last year we paid $1,934. But that's still we pay one total price. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
It doesn't matter
whether it's for the treasurer
or what.
Tenth of a
It's
minute,
total.
no
It's
matter
just
what.
total.
I'm the only one that gets a yearly.
Yeah.
But
So.
it comes out of that total.
But it comes out of that total, so I think you
probably did, yeah, 'cause
overstated that, so we need to double check that, and
Okay.
you'll have to go back, because this is a running total for like 3 years or something, so you'll have to go back to each year that we have paid the treasurers out and take that out,
Gotcha.
okay? The next one is the free fare budget. You'll see that they've asked, the free fare budget, I think we're going to have to send back to them. They've asked for basically 2 things. They've asked for a part-time help to have a maintenance person, and then they've asked for M&O, and I believe that they need to take out their professional services for their judges. They need to take out what their premiums and awards are. They lumped that all into M&O. They've also asked for M&O for drainage, what they're working on for that parking lot, and we need to discuss whether we're going to fund that or how that's going to be funded.
Is the loan that we're giving them going to be a part of that?
No, the loan is it's a whole separate item. Because it's a budget, it's a cash account, it's not a budgeted account. The next page is our building maintenance account. We put in $1 for M&O, and then capital outlay 3.5. We haven't completely paid for this first stage of our renovation. I'm not sure what we have remaining, but we paid $93,000 as of last year. At the close of last year, we knew we had more than that, and so we have to roll that amount forward. and then we're looking to redo the interior, doing some on that. So that's why I think we're still a little over $2 million from last year. Then put another 1.5, and that definitely can be cut down some. That definitely, that's just a number we put in there. So that definitely can be
415 this year.
15, yeah. And I think the total contract is a two.
What's the total contract, right?
Total item.
Yeah, it's close to 2 million. It's not 2 million. It's close.
We're well under 2 million.
Is it like 1.8?
I thought it was 1.67,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that number can definitely be whittled down. So, with that in mind, I'd like we cannot have first deputies in every office being paid different. They'll have to be the same. So right now we have anywhere from a 5% increase for our first deputies up to a 13.5% increase. As I would like to mention to you the fact that on our retirement benefits right now, on our OPR's retirement benefit, presently the county is paying 10.5% and employees are paying 8.5%. The least amount the employees has to pay in is 3.5%. If the county picked up the other 5%, so that if the employees gave 3.5% and counties picked up 15.5%, that is automatically a 5% cash increase for our deputies because they're already being taxed on that. Their FICA and FUTA has already been taken out of that. It gives them cash in their pocket, 5%. So if they're making, so that is a 68-cent an hour increase. So if they're making $13.65 now, and you give them the 5%, that brings them up to $14.33 in reality cash difference. It doesn't actually give them the $14.33, but it gives them the 5%. The 68 cents is take home for them because they're already being taxed on it, already having FICA and FUTA taken out of it. So it's just, and the county has already matched that, so it's not going to be, if we give an increase, we've got to increase our FICA, our FUTA, our SUTA, and all the things that go along with that. So that would be a one place to look at. Also, if we're wanting to look at something that would offset the 1-year people against our 20 and 30-year people, right now our longevity, we're giving $25 per year on their deal. We can raise that, and that would be an easy fix. Yeah, I don't know. We can go clear up to what the state employees are, and I'm not sure what that is exactly, but I think that that's a real place that if you're really wanting to do something for your long-term employees, that would be a good place to look at it. I'm still not opposed to giving some cash increase on wages, but I cannot see I can't see paying $15.50 when we're at $13.65. I don't. Grant County, out there on Main Street in Medford or in Pond Creek, I don't believe people make that kind of wages in Grant County. Our cost of living is so much less, so you can't compare our wages even to Enid or to Newkirk or Ponca City because their cost of living is just so much higher than ours. And once you give a pay raise, you just simply cannot take that away from them. It is just bad business to do that.
The longevity for state of Oklahoma is roughly, it varies, but from 4 to 6 years is $426. 6 to 8, $626. 8 to 10 is $850. 10 to 12 is $1,062. It goes up from there.
So if you're
That's
here,
their annual longevity.
Yeah.
So does anybody put a pencil to that to know?
Well,
how many
4 to
years
6.
it's got?
4 to 6. If it's 4 to 6, 4 years is over $100. If it's 6, it's about
Yeah, it's like 85, 90,
divided by
something like that.
6. So it's anywhere from from $71 to $106. We give $25. So
So how many people do we have with that many? I'm asking, has anybody put a pencil to how many people we've got with so many years, and how much would this cost us in lieu of a $15.50?
no.
Or a $14.75?
I just looked at the numbers. I was just giving you numbers. So you guys could-
No. I had not looked at that. I haven't had time.
That's a state level.
Yeah, that's what
That
the
was
state.
state of
You
Oklahoma,
cannot
what
go over what the state allow. I mean, you could give a a base, we could go to $50 or $75. You don't have to incorporate. You just can't go higher than what the state has. So even if you doubled it to $50, you know, that would double it. The other thing to keep in mind is last year we ran the legislation on the 401k matching, where right now we give $50. If the employee puts in $25, we're putting in $50. You know, we're doing a 200% match, but $50 is our max. Last year I ran the bill. It passed through the Senate. It did not get out of the House. Daniels has termed out. He's no longer there. He was the guy that wouldn't let that bill go through. I feel very strongly. And Josh Krokroff, he was the senator that was carrying it. He's not running. But Senator Stan Skolowski from Tulsa County, who is his private business is pensions, he is going to carry that in the Senate for us. And the House, we're looking to see who might carry it, and I'm not sure. But I have very good faith that that bill will go. And that's something that, if it does, it would not run emergency. It would run regular, but it wouldn't have an effect on this year's budget. But it would next year's. I'm just telling you, that's something else that we can look out there. What did go in effect November 1st? I'm working with Cleveland County. Is that they are allowing a you've got to have a very detailed, itemized deal on proficiency. What word am I looking for? It's it passed. Cleveland ran it last year. You can give a 1% of their base up to 1 to 10% of their base pay if they meet criteria. You know, you say you get certified in this, and you do your monthly safeties, and you take exams on them, and you pass at 80%. Or it's got to be very detailed, or you come up with different things of what can save the county. But that is something that is. You've got one employee that will really bust their tail in for you, and you can set some stuff, and you got one employee that maybe doesn't. I'm not saying that we do here in Grant County, but if you do, you can definitely give a reason to give that person an increase, a one-time percentage. Compensation. It's a one-time deal. It's not a monthly deal. It's you set it up at by this certain date. You jump through all these hoolas and you get it. Then you can get that increase. So that's a possibility of something. It's a working deal, and it might not be something that we can do this year in this budget, but it's something that we might be able to do in the future. These are tools in our toolboxes that we need to use to get away from just putting a salary out there and then having ourselves find out we can't afford it. So, feedback. What I'd like to do is let you all think about this. It's 10:30. We're meeting with they're on the agenda, so you guys can think about it, talk about it, and come back in and give us your feedback. If that'd work for all of you on that, kind of give me some feedback on what you think. I'd kind of like to do it today, because if I don't get this, if we don't decide something today on what we're going to try to do, I need to get some new numbers to Buddy to put in the deal so we can come back and look at it, because we're not to the process. If we're going to get this budget done by October, people, we got to get it moving. So, okay, thank you. And please come back with feedback. All right, being the hour of 10:30, we are down to item R, the courthouse and sheriff's renovation facility.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is a beautiful morning.
Cindy didn't tell us it was 10:30.
I emailed you. He said, I don't read my emails. I'm like, well, I didn't.
I apologize.
I didn't.
That's all right. I enjoy listening. I just passed out the current contingency usage. I'd like to point out one thing on here. First of all, the 3 items we have on the agenda today are on here. Should those all get approved, it leaves a contingency balance of $41,000. That's a little misleading, because if you'll remember correctly, we had a not to exceed electrical price to fix what was above the ceiling. We just got in, Ryan just told me we got in the price on the 3rd floor, and it was the not to exceed price, which was $3,300. So if we continue that on the other 3 floors, that's $9,900. So you're basically at about 32,000 rather than 41. And I'll adjust this next month, so you know. But anyway, we're still at 32,000. We're almost done with, hopefully, contingency items. We still find little things as we go along. To go through the three that we have today, the first one is to replace the roof over the jail entrance. That's that planter box that was over the front doors of the jail. In our original bid, we had nothing in there, but in talking with the roofer and with Ryan, we thought it best to go in and what kind of mill did they use in there?
It's the 80. It's the same mill.
It's the same mill as in the roof, so that shouldn't leak. And that's also got a drain that comes out to the north, but we thought it best to fill that in and do that one. The second one, I'm going to let Ryan explain because that's a little complicated. If he can explain it.
On our mechanical drawings, we had a unit it's in the attic, services the north west corner of the building. In the mechanical drawings, it shows it to remove that unit, and in the replacement, it shows another unit to go in this place. Well, what we figured out as we went through this, I don't know whether there was a mistake or if there was a different intention to use a different unit there. The unit that they called to put in place is a makeup air unit. This provides the fresh air into all the units throughout the building, and it's more or less an air dryer is what it does. It takes humidity out for the fresh air. Now, of course, new code, we have to have a certain percentage of fresh air into buildings as it is. So that unit that they called to replace there,
it's basically an upgrade from what we called it.
Yeah, it is. It's an upgrade. It doesn't serve both functions of heat, air, cooling. It's a fresh air unit. So we had to actually move that unit. It didn't fit in that place, and we've done that change. So this PR is to replace that unit, so that you're not left with the old unit there. They may have considered that existing unit may have been in good enough shape, but in investigating that, it is not. The unit is at least 20 years old.
Yeah.
Roughly 20 years old and needs replacement. So this will take care of every bit of that new hookup to the new fresh air unit and thermostat, power, and plumbing hookups. There was a question of whether or not there was enough geothermal water piping supply, but we have confirmed with the contractor that there is enough supply, so we don't have to upgrade lines. They're able to use the existing that we have. So out of that $10,000, roughly $8,000 is the unit cost itself. Everything else is electrical disconnection, reconnection, and making sure we've got that all properly tied in. So that is what PR-17 is about.
And PR-18, we were really going to work on the electrical panels on the next phase. However, the electricians found that the panel that's right at the top of the stairs on the second floor, the lugs are actually stripped, so the power wires coming into the box are just sitting there. And we felt that was a safety issue, and we needed to address that now rather than wait 3 or 4 months and do it on phase 2. So it's pay it now or pay it later. And we thought because of the safety, we'd pay it now. So that's the 3 items on the list today, and
let's go back to the HVAC units in general, and I don't know, but refresh my memory. I might be wrong, but when we was doing this, we were under the impression that our second floor would have to have the ceilings lowered to be able to get the duct work in, but we were assured that all the other floors would handle it and the ceilings would not have to be lowered. And I wanted to make sure that we're on the same page on that.
I can't answer that because I don't know that I was the one
That's not what I'm understanding from Larry.
Currently, right.
Right, currently what he has said to me was that all of them will have to be
We
lowered.
were assured that would not happen. We wanted, they said, no, you've got plenty of room up there for the new ductwork, because we did not want to lower our ceilings. Because we was said, you know, that wouldn't really, you know, that was a big deal for us. We don't want to have our heads up against the ceilings. So we need to find out where we're on that.
Well, I believe the first floor we're in pretty good shape because we're reusing a lot of ductwork on this floor. I don't think there's a whole lot of.
So all of these are going to be back where they are, right, on the first floor.
That's not the way I understood it.
Okay, I want to make sure because that's the way I understood it.
That's the way I understood
That's the way
it too.
we knew on the second floor in Dina's office because they had all the window units and they had no ductwork, but we had all ductwork, so everything should be right back in the same space.
That's what I'm understanding on this floor.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I'll double check with
I
Larry, but
I thought Larry
Yeah, I
told me
didn't
like.
on this floor, huh?
it was mainly second, third floor issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because of getting rid of the window units and
Well, there's
lack
no
of
ductwork.
the lack
Right,
of ductwork.
yeah, there wasn't any ductwork to start with. This floor, we already have.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. Well, I just
So
wanted to make
I-
sure that our ceilings are going back right where they were, and on the second floor, in particularly, I don't know. We went up and looked at it this morning, and back in the judge's room, like, okay, they said they had to. I was looking, and they dropped those. The ductwork has been dropped considerably from the ceiling, and they said it's because they have access to work on those units. Well, you go back in that middle room, and the unit is flush with the ceiling. I don't get how come you have. What are we going to do with the windows? I mean, we're dropping that. You know, the height of those ceilings are going to be like 8 feet tall. They're not going to be able to put their ceiling fans back in, and they're coming down past below the windows. How's that going to work?
Usually what we'll do is a window pocket, a balance, where it's finished on the window side, and drop it down.
What does it look like from the outside?
Oh, you want to notice it? You should notice it.
Especially if you have
I
blinds.
don't know
in
where
place.
Brandon's at, but can you go over and have someone kick the AC down?
And you should
Over
need
the top of it.
ceiling fans after this is done.
Well,
Oh, can you have
air
someone
movement
come
sometimes for
measure
women.
down over the top in here?
So
Brandon's not
I'm
over.
not touching that one.
He's out.
yeah, it wouldn't look good in Hollywood if saying something like that. So okay, but I'm hoping they're snugging them up as tight as they can. I don't know. Look at them and just see and make sure then we're all on the same page. So none of these on this floor will be lower. They're all going to be right back where they were, right?
I believe
So we know it.
Okay.
That's not what Larry told me.
That's not what Larry told you. Okay.
We'll
Larry
find
said
out.
he was going to be in this meeting.
Well,
Can he come?
our understanding when we did the plans, it was all going to be the same. We knew on the second floor, but they said they'd snug it up as close as they could. You know, they'd snug it up. We knew it had to have some, but they said, I thought at the time they was talking like 6 inches.
Yeah.
I thought they said something like a 6-inch drop because there was no ductwork. But
Let's make sure we're all on the same page.
yeah, let's do on
Email
that.
it, Okay.
Okay, let's make sure we're all on the same page on that. So what we need to vote on here is
When you're talking about the jail entrance roof, you're talking about on the east side of the
Yes,
jail?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
you remember where that
There's a
little
little
planter
pocket.
is
Yeah.
over the doorway?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
call it the planter box. There's a little pocket there
Okay.
that dips down and under.
It really looks like it's cast stone all the way to the building, but there's actually a small roof up there. It's basically in the shape of a planter. And
And you're going to cap it off to get the water out.
we're going to re-roof it.
You're gonna-
It has a scupper and a downspout
Oh,
on
it
the north
does.
side.
Okay.
It does have a way for the water to get out. It just needs to be redone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really not part of the roof itself. It
Okay.
sits out in front,
Yeah.
above the entrance, in front of the entrance doors.
Okay. Okay. I guess I just not
Yeah,
familiar with.
if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't notice that.
Okay. Okay.
That's exactly right.
Well, that being said, I make a motion to approve the PR 14, PR 17, and PR 18.
I'll second that.
Okay. Hess moved, Ronk seconded to approve PR 14 to replace the jail roof, or the roof over the jail entrance. PR 17 to replace the third floor HVAC unit to a air dryer. And PR 18 that's going to replace the electrical panel on the second floor. All in favor?
Bobbit,
Aye.
Wrong,
Aye.
yes.
Aye.
All ayes. Motion carried unanimously.
Now, before we go into the second phase,
Brian and I'd like to talk to you about a couple things that's come up. Primarily the driveway on the north side of the jail in light of the new fire escape. And I'll let Brian talk more about this, but once the new fire escape was installed, there seems to be not a lot of room left for that where that driveway is at. And we're wondering if it wouldn't be a good idea to widen that driveway at this point, and then also perhaps put a couple of ballards up to protect
the actual stairs.
The actual stairs itself. Now I don't know if you've been out there lately, but once that fire escape was installed, there's how much room do you think between that and that
You can squeak a vehicle in there.
We did our jail inspection last Monday, and we were over there and looking at it. But I'll tell you, we're going to redo all of our parking lot. This whole parking lot, once we're done, we're going to redo it all, and we're going to probably incorporate that into it.
So you don't want us to look at that at this time?
I wouldn't think at the moment, no.
Okay, well.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's like she's saying, you know, whether it's now or a year and a half from now.
What we're going to have to do is, because this has been paved over so many times, we're going to actually take all the pavement out and start over and put it on. Probably, we've also talked about for security, they want us to have it secure so people can't drive a vehicle up there and put a bomb in it or something, you know, talking about making that maybe an employees only parking lot, not for the public. So that's going to kind of be in phase 2, but something we're going to try to maybe do later.
One thing to consider on that drive when you do that, because we were discussing different ways to try to make that a little more affordable. If you decide to do it, is, you know, demo it out and have the county actually repave it, not go back with concrete. I mean, I think that would save you guys a lot of money. But tying in those downspouts on the north end, I know from talking with Scott Falkenberg, he says he still gets some leaking into the basement on that north end. There's a total of 4, I think, downspouts on there now. But that would be the opportunity to connect those to an underground like we did on the south side.
The French drain again.
And get them out to the
drain them to the street.
Get them out to the street rather than dumping on the pavement.
When you tear all that out
underneath the driveway.
Yeah.
It might be difficult to control that grading up against the building with asphalt, you know, because that's all handwork. You got to get in there with the plate compactor, and hand grade all that out. It would be an easier thing to do with concrete, so that's something you guys want to consider up against the building, is possibly doing that section in concrete. Other than that, that's kind of my 2 cents on that. Larry says there is plenty of fall to get to the street. From where the base of that fire escape hits, he says there's roughly 13 inches from there down to the gutter. So there is avenue, there's fall there for drainage.
Okay. Well, I know that we got a question from the city office here about whether we tied into the sewer or not, and I said no. I said these guys know they're not supposed to dump that into the sewer, and it wasn't done that way, and that they was okay with that. So we'd have to do the same thing with that. Just running it out to the curb, I don't see a problem with that at all. And they did, when we did our jail inspection, they did say, the sheriff said that the jail had been dry.
Especially the week before last, you know, when it rained so much every day.
So that was a positive.
Yes.
It was
yes.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't know that it'll ever be 100%, but it's a lot better.
Right.
I think that new pump is catching the brush.
What's the warranty on a pump like that?
I don't. I'd have to look at our specifications to see what our pump was, but
But those sump pumps are pretty easy to change out. They're just right there. It's not like you got to tear anything out. They just we just replaced our sump pump in our basement. We've been in our house for 21 years, and we just replaced ours.
They're pretty simple machines, so I mean you should get plenty. And the one that they spec was it's a good pump.
Yeah.
From what I understand, so it should give you guys quite a few years of service.
Good.
But there should be a manufacturer's warranty along with that as well. Of course, we got the one year's builder warranty.
Yeah.
That covers everything.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Can't answer that.
Okay. Phase 2. Let's talk about that.
Okay, last week I brought Becca Hall down. She's one of our interior designers, and Becca and Cindy went through the building while I met Sheriff Scott over at the jail. And just to give you an update on what we've done, we've calculated that we need about 23,000 square feet of paneling removed and replaced in the chipboard. There's about 9,700 square feet of tile and carpet to be replaced. And we'd also suggest regrinding your terrazzo floor out here, bringing it up to life, making it look a little shinier. And that's 1,500 square feet. So
Yeah, what is that again?
The terrazzo floor.
Oh.
The terrazzo.
Oh, okay.
They diamond grind it,
and all
and
that.
basically it'll look brand new. So we've passed those square footages on to Cotter to start a budget, so to speak, preliminary budget. But here's we need to come up with a preliminary budget so you can pick and choose what you want done more than anything. So here's we're looking at obviously the drywall and the carpet and the tile, paint, electrical upgrades, put all of these things in the walls, obviously, and then there's some upgrades that each individual offices want. New ceilings were needed, window coverings, the public restrooms redone and made more up to date. We suggest, as we're doing the paneling, taking the paneling off and putting chipboard back on, we have to retrim out all the doors. What do you think about putting glass doors in the office?
That was the first thing I was going to ask is, can we do
We're all
glass
on the same
doors?
page. Glass doors with the bullet resistant film.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it'll make it look more inviting to the offices. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Everything just seems so shut off to
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah. What do you think about your planter boxes here on the first floor up by the front door? There's no terrazzo under there. So if we take them out, there's no terrazzo floor. But maybe trim those out, make them look a little more modern, cover the bricks up. Same way with your at the stairways, the brown bricks. You know what I'm talking about?
Let's walk out there.
Yeah,
and
let's
look.
walk out there and look. Let's walk. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm understanding it. Yeah, let's walk out. Oh.
correct me if I'm wrong, Cindy is sending out questionnaires to the offices, and have we gotten those back?
No.
Okay.
No.
We'll get those back and incorporate those.
I mean, we kind of talked to everyone when we went around. Well, I didn't talk to Dina,
Yeah.
but I talked to Dina when the architect or the designer was here.
We don't know if you want any cabinets built, new countertops, that we haven't determined in the various offices. I did talk to Sheriff Scott in the jail. This is his list. He's got 4 plumbing chases up in the jail he wants replumbed. He wants to relocate his laundry from where it's at to where the old garage was. He's got several pipes he wants fixed. He wants to redo where the water comes in from the city and put new valves in there. And probably the main thing is he wants his reception window that's got that wire on it. He wants that little proof with a slide under, which I think probably needs done, but that's on his list.
We want to have 2 separate quotes. We want the courthouse quote and we want the jail quote, because we've got to figure out if it's cheaper. We have about 5 inmates in Grant County.
I'm sorry?
We have about 5 inmates in Grant County. The rest of them we bring in for $18 a day, although it costs us $40. Before we put $1 million into a building for 5 county inmates, we need to assess whether we need to make sure it might be more feasible to ship ours out than to spend that kind of money on the jail. So we just need to. We need a budget. We've got to figure out a budget on that.
And it's so hard with that plumbing over there has been rigged together for so many years. And without bringing an engineer over and looking at it, I can't even guess. I mean, coming up with the windows is easy enough.
Yeah, you know, some of that kind of stuff. I that's a safety issue, but you know, whether to spend that kind of money on that or not.
Yeah, we both.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do that. All right, that's what I had. We're working forward. Anything that I've missed on my list that you can think of?
Now, Larry talked to me today about this. If he would like to know, these are all within the quoted price range, and this would be the same as the 4x. What is it? 4x, but it has a separation in it. This is my
2x4.
2x4, so this would make it 2x2, or look like a 2x2. Because he's saying that the tile that we have up there now, you cannot get that same tile. They don't make it anymore.
Well, I thought our plan was that we were going to take all the good stuff and put it someplace, with the idea of putting the old stuff back up. Then in phase 2, we were going to come back and do the new one. But I don't know. Was that what's the plan? Or is this in the plan to replace?
If we replace now, we won't replace in phase 2, obviously.
Okay.
I'll let you speak to that, Brian.
So which way is better?
We have figured on a certain amount of replacement because you just can't.
Yeah, some breaks when you take it down. Yeah.
That and damaged tiles,
right.
You know, of the like. So what we want to do is group all the old tiles in offices here and there. And I mean, is that something where you want to upgrade those in the second phase? You know, the ones that are left, the old tiles. What you end up with is we can't get the exact tiles of the old ones. We can get something similar, but there's always going to be a difference. Because it makes sense to replace everything with new, say in the second phase, to where everything in the building is the same tile.
Well, I can see that. I can see now that you've got it. You're gonna have to put it up. Why take it down and put it up again in the second phase? So if you're gonna redo it in phase 2 anyway, why not do it in phase 1? Because the labor is going to be a big part of it. Yes.
Because when we do phase 2, all we'll do is take out a portion of the tiles to work on the walls. We won't have to take down the whole ceiling like we have here.
Oh, you just take the outer edge ones.
We've pretty much got it all down. Everything's down.
Everything's
well,
down.
so then
so we need a quote for new tile replacement or put the old back.
Do we want to stay with the 2x4 or go to the 2x2?
Upgrade to the 2x2.
What's the cost difference?
I I would have to get you a number.
What I was
There is
saying,
gonna be
why
a slight
don't we?
increase on
Yeah,
tuition.
why don't you get us some costs like what we talked about, just replacing the whatever you put in the main bid. Then tell us what it would be to replace all of it, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have some replacement in this.
You're right, exactly. So tell us what if we went ahead and replaced all of it and did it now. The other option I'll throw out there. I've talked to Cindy about it. I haven't talked to Max or Pat or really anybody else. But when Pottawatomie County redid the interior of their courthouse, they basically moved out of the courthouse and into their fairgrounds building, so that we don't have to live with this. Because once you start taking walls down and carpet down, you know, time-wise, would that be a large savings in the overall scheme of things if we moved out of the building? I know it's going to cost us to move out of the building, but in the scheme of the project, would it allow crews to come in and just totally gut the building and build it up? Would that be a very good cost savings and time savings?
We brought this up in the last our meeting last week, and tremendously easier to do a remodel without it being occupied, obviously logistically. Now, if we could work that floor by floor and try to do it that way, that's kind of the way we envision that happening. Is, you know, kind of how we're doing, starting at the top, heading on down, to minimize the impact to you guys. But I don't. The way you guys function, department, is that a feasible thing to say evacuate a floor? And the other consideration is court.
Court is going to be the big issue, because I don't know, you know, how they do that. I wish Dina was here. She could tell us how that worked. If we could, I don't even know what buildings are in Medford that would even be available to move. But if you did it floor by floor, I mean, I would think it
Could you set this up like a courtroom here?
wouldn't be probably. Well, if they had a jury trial, it wouldn't be. But you might be able to move the courtroom to the fairground. We'd have to pay them rent, you know, and do all that. But you could probably set a courtroom up in the fair building if they, you know, if they allowed it. I don't know, you know, pay them some rent and all that. But again, they've got different things they're going to be renting it out for. They might not want to do that either. I don't know what other buildings. I can't think of any buildings around Medford.
In our mind were court and records.
And how to move things.
Right. Yeah.
Whether you need help, hourly help to move things.
Well, I think if we did something like that, I think we'd bid it out to physically move us out and move us in. But I wouldn't want to do that if it's not going to speed up the time and save us the money on the other end. I mean, I don't mind paying a little more just because it's you know, we have some people that's got allergies from the different things coming down. You know, our ADA had some allergy reactions to different things, and
it would definitely speed up our process.
Would it save us money?
but yeah, that in the end run for how much it would save us, and then to be able to say if it saves us, you know, $100,000, and we put $100,000 into the move out and the move in, you know, that's kind of, I have no idea what the move out and the move in, I have no idea, but it was something I thought I'd throw out to you just to see if we could put some numbers to see. But our other thing is logistic, where we'd move to, but if maybe floor by floor might be a better option, you know.
That's what I was just trying to think about.
You know, like my district shop, I've got that one side room, but it's, you know, could hold some things, not everything, but you know, if I don't know, if we found a few buildings, places here in town that we could rent, you know, it might not be all under one roof, but we might be able to put.
You're talking with phones and moving your data and everything. So.
Well, computers move a lot of stuff. It'd be phones mainly. And I don't know, phones anymore seem to be movable.
Well, I mean, like, you know, how long are you looking at?
I don't know. How long are you looking at on something to doing all the floors and the walls? Are you talking a 3 month?
It depends on our extent, but I mean, it's going to be a pretty extensive.
Remember, we still have to do the window wrap. So
Right.
There's two other things, and I should have brought this up earlier. we're going to strongly recommend that we put a fire alarm system in, because all your battery operated smoke detectors, and as well as emergency lights. We think the fire marshal would require.
Oh, I don't think we'd have a problem with that. We'd prefer a dry system, not a wet one.
Oh, no. Alarm system.
Oh, alarm system,
suppression.
not as fire suppression. I got you. Okay.
You need one.
And
you
one
also
other-
need the emergency lights.
Yeah.
Robin Rapp, the election board, asked me this morning about redoing her shelving, that north end of her office. If we lowered the ceiling, which was what they was talking about doing, Cindy had talked about earlier, and looking for space and stuff, and she said that was going to cut down her being able to store stuff at the top. I just said we would talk about that. We hadn't made any decisions.
I really don't think this is going to. You need to get on that, because our understanding is this was not going to be lowered, and we really don't
That's
want
right.
it lowered.
Okay.
We really don't want it lowered. So I don't think. No.
Larry had said something about ductwork or something, they have a 3-foot clearance or something.
No.
It's
That's
any
way
access
high.
panels on a unit. That 3-foot clearance. Ductwork,
Ductwork, no, okay.
the units themselves, if there's any accessible panels.
Good.
For
I
maintenance
like that.
purposes.
But
But
that doesn't mean that ceiling has to be
No, that's for maintenance.
Because you can access the ceiling, yeah. It could. We'll find out.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
That's my story.
Okay.
We'll continue working.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds
we
good.
appreciate
Yeah.
that, and thanks for the update.
Yeah.
And we need to make some decisions on what we're wanting done.
Well,
But-
then again, we need to come up with some numbers. so we
Yes.
can make
That'll
those
help us a
decisions
lot.
properly.
I think, obviously try to work within the same budget we had the last time.
That's what we were told.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we are.
So if we come up with our preliminary numbers over budget, you'll have to pick and choose what
Right.
you want.
Yeah, right. Well,
So if
but
there's nothing-
we've also got to do a cost analysis on that jail. I mean, we've secured the building so it doesn't fall down, but just because we've done that doesn't mean that we've got to, for no more activity that's in there, we just can't. These are taxpayer dollars we have to be responsible for.
I know that plumbing is full, period.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I could tell you 100 or 200 without doing more research.
We could get some
Bringing
pink.
the experts
We can
in.
get some pink tents and get that Maricopa County sheriff to come and run it, because he's not in office now, so maybe we could do that.
Attorney was available.
Yeah, I think he's available. He could run the staff for Scott. So.
Do you think we could incorporate that marijuana dispensary?
Yeah,
into
right
the-
there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So
Please.
anyway, so all right,
Thank
sounds
you.
good. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you all. Take care.
Alrighty. Let's go. Okay. Let's go on down the agenda, and then we can bring the officers back in, Max, for
Down where?
for time.
Okay.
Let's see. So we've already done new business. So what's your comments?
We had a real nice celebration over at Waukeeta. Saturday, 16th celebration. Had a marriage proposal in the middle of Main Street.
Hooray!
Cleta Newell had been seeing this guy that they got hooked up some way, and he proposed to her
On Main Street.
on Main Street.
He posted on Facebook this morning that they met on Facebook.
That they met on Facebook.
He's from Houston, I think.
Yes,
He said.
Houston, I believe it was. Yeah, so that was something interesting.
Don't see that every day.
Nope, you don't. We're mowing, grading, hauling off some rock off of a couple of oil locations that they've closed out and got rid of. We are working hauling dirt on our CIRB project. Oh gosh, what's the name of the company? Ken works for
Venture.
Venture, thank you. Venture is replacing the tubes on my CIRB. They're not replacing them, they're installing them. so we can make the slope of the ditch mowable. And we're hauling the dirt for that today. Outside of that, it's just business as usual. Got a CED meeting Wednesday over to Alva.
Patrick, what do you got?
Well, we chipped and sealed a couple of days last week. Weather kind of messed with us, and we ran out of rock too, so we're hauling more rock. We're hoping to be able to run a couple of loads of oil Wednesday. We're down to Greer Road right now from highway. Started at Highway 11, so I think we've got 6 miles left. We're mowing, grading. We got one of our broke down graders back Thursday or Wednesday, excuse me, and we were supposed to get the other one. The other one was supposed to be done Friday. We don't know if it's done yet or not. That's about it as far as that goes. I've got a CDSA meeting tomorrow in Enid, and then a CED 8 meeting Wednesday that I plan on going to. That's about all I got.
Alright. Well, Bill Hazelwood made it return to work today, so he's been off sick leave for 5 weeks, so he's back, and we are out mowing and grading and trying to catch up. This week I've got I'm meeting with got a webinar with Federal Highway tomorrow. Wednesday I'm going to be at the CED meeting, and then I'm meeting with Shannon Sheffert and ODOT down on a low water crossing over by Lamont.
I needed to tell you that I have a meeting on Clyde Road, utilities, at 2 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yeah, mine's at 2:30, so Donnie said he's going to go to yours, and then mine's at 2:30. He said he didn't think he'd make mine, but Shannon Sheffert's going to be on mine, so come over there on Wednesday to meet on that. So I'll be at the CED meeting first. And then Thursday I have a Wheatland RC&D financial meeting, and I have a Wheat Heart Nutrition Board meeting. And Pat, have you ever decided, are you going to be on that?
I haven't. To be honest with you, I hadn't thought about it.
Well,
let me think about it.
No, okay, so that.
I've got major road repair on my brain right now.
Yeah, I
want to get that out.
I hear you. So we've got that going on. So we're just trying to get caught up from being in the shop, and we've got a lot of roads out there. We did find a lot more tubes had been washed out from some of those rains, and we've got I think we've got like 3 more left to set. We've been trying to get those set. Takes some time. So with that, that's about all I have. Alrighty. Why don't we take about a 5-minute recess?
I'm moved to take a recess.
Okay.
I'll second.
Ronk moved, has seconded to take a short recess. All in favor?
Bobbit.
Aye.
Ronk.
Aye.
Pat.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carried.
What time?
It is 11:10 right now, so we'll take a short recess.
Leave it unlocked.
Okay. It's already gone. Scotty knows that.
Yes, aye. Okay, we're caught up.
Okay. At 11:23, Ronk moved and Hess seconded to return to open session out of recess, and the roll call was made and the vote was aye. We failed to turn on our camera, so that is to bring us up to speed on where we are. So we are back in our meeting. We will return to item Q for further discussion after you guys have listened to me. I would, Max, Pat, I'll let you guys go first. We can go around the table the other way. You want to go around that table the other way?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go out there first.
Okay, Cindy Sue, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
I understand about the salary thing, and my thought is I think it's a good idea to look at doing some of the other benefit, like the longevity or the performance compensation or whatever you want to call the other thing. You know, because at least you can, like you said, once you raise that up there, you can't get it back down. So that's my thought on that.
Cassie, you're kind of state, so you really don't have a whole lot to say. But we appreciate you being, we appreciate you being here and taking an interest. You're very good to work with. You do a good job for our OSU Extension, and we thank you for that. And congratulations, by the way, on your award that you just won. And you serve as secretary of your state association. Yay. So thank you very much. We appreciate that. So, Miss Dina.
Well, since all I have is salaries, I guess just whatever works out best for everybody, or I also kind of like the little incentives to, like you mentioned earlier, whatever.
The 5% on the wage of the OPER's retirement.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I like the longevity if you decide to do something different with that.
All right, Robin, you're kind of state, so.
I went back and looked at the number of possible elections. If Betty didn't think that I had enough budgeted, and I know we don't have every election that's possible, but there's a form that we can fill out. So I filled out that form and I put 4 elections in each slot, and that comes up to $11,000. So I know we won't spend that amount, but if Buddy sees that this isn't enough, then I need to add $8,000 to my M&O.
Okay.
If he said this is not a workable budget, that would be the.
Well, he said with it being a general election, we wasn't even in a general election last year, and you spent more in your M&O than you even asked for. You understand that what he was saying?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. How did you spend more this year when we didn't have this last year when we didn't have a general? We had a primary, but we didn't have a general. Then you would in a general, and we have a runoff. We have the runoff and a general this year.
Does that happen next year, or did that not just happen right now?
August is 19 budget.
The primary was in the last fiscal year.
The April primary was in last year, but the runoff in August, where we had voted on, we just voted on 2 weeks ago, was in this budget, and then you're going to have a general on top of that.
Because we spent a lot of money on storage. I mean, I took all that stuff out of M&O, the totes and the shelves, and that's what we spent a lot of money on. Trying to make the office a little more organized and easier to function.
But that would be a one-time expense. So that would be a one-time expense. Okay. All right, Penny.
I looked over the numbers of this round, and everybody, some are down, and of course mine would be down because of all the extras that I had last with the furniture and whatnot, and nobody got real crazy. It didn't look like to me, and Cindy had the most at $66,000 for her reporting, and $39,000, $36,000 mine was down, obviously, from last year because of the furniture thing. But where I found the biggest chunk of it was in the building, was 3.5 million. So if we're over, that's probably the biggest, that's probably where we're way off. So what are we doing? I thought we had a $2.1 million budget on our building. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so we spent 1.6 million.
Well, it didn't all come out of last fiscal. If you look at that.
I know it didn't come out last fiscal year.
But so we have to carry it forward. So we have to carry it forward, just like the audit. You have to carry it forward, and then we're going to redo the interior. So yes. No, I said when I went through there, I said we can cut that.
2.1. Yep.
I said we can cut that.
Okay, so I guess I am still in favor of the employees getting there. I do like the incentive. I do like the overs. But I do think that maybe we can't do 1550, but maybe we can do up to 15. I think I ran some numbers on it too, and I just.
Robin you put in for 1475 on your budget.
Yeah, and then visited with a few people when we were on recess, and then if we figured out if we did the 5% overs, which I am totally in favor for, and then did the 67-cent an hour raise per hour per employee, it'd bring up to 15. But I'm perfectly fine with my girls getting 14.75 or whatever, you know. But I also had a question. This shows that it was approved by the excise board. When did they meet?
No, that's where it isn't. No, and that's just the number, so he'd know what the number that we have to work for.
Okay.
That's the budget we have to work for. The 5.898 is the budget, and he just put that in. Oh, you'll see none of these figures, Robin. None of these figures for the excise board are completed, but he wanted to give us a total so we knew what we were working on.
Okay,
This is just a draft.
So really the estimate of needs are okay. We do have a reserve, and that reserve went into the building fund.
You could say that.
Yes, I am saying that,
Okay.
because the 7.4 million is over. But it's over because there's 1.4 extra million in the building fund.
Okay. All right.
I actually think that 5% overs thing is awesome because for one, it saves the county some money and it gives everybody a raise. Plus, I had an issue whenever I started here personally because it was a mandatory 8.5%. that we had to pay them as employees when most counties will do an option of 4.25 or you can do the step up to 8.5%. Here it was mandatory to do 8.5% of the paychecks. So I do like the dropping it to the by 5% in the county government costs. I think that's awesome because then we're not out and we're still gaining. So I do think that's a great idea. I don't have any problems with that. Which I didn't even know that was an option, so thank you because that's awesome. But I like the idea of raising the yearly longevity because I do think 25 is not that much. You know what I mean? Like I know that I was talking to Mindy I think earlier. She's been here a long time. And I think she said her was like $300 or something. So I know I get it's an incentive, but 25 is just not. It's just not that much. It is, but it's not.
We just put longevity in maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't even have it. Never had it before, and it was a way because I think it was one of the years we couldn't give a raise, and we thought, well, this is a way to do that. So yeah.
So I do think that's cool if we can go somewhere close to what the state does or somewhere along those lines. I do think that gives an incentive to the employees to want to stay here for longer because, especially if they've been here a long time, it'll make them want to stay longer. Or stay here because they've already built up all that time and equity in the county. So I do think that's a good idea.
One thing, if I may, like on the overs, it's kind of unusual, or from being in the private sector and coming into the, like if you go into your over or into your retirement, and they say, okay, we'll match up to 5%, and you only put in 2%, then typically the company will only then put into, they'll only put in what you match, where here we're
required. We're required. It's got to be, we're required. It's got to come up with, and they raised that, help me out here, it seems like they raised that maybe 3-4 years ago, and they changed the deal, and we had to both put in more or something. I can't remember. We had to bump them up. So, but it's a mandatory. But what we did, and that was just what 2-3 years ago when we did the 401 matching K. That was again another. I mean, we are trying to. We are doing a whole lot more than a lot of the counties.
Yeah, that's
so. Max, what is your input?
You know what? I'm the same way. That deal is like 17% originally with what you put in the employee and the.
That's 19.
And it's 19 now.
Yeah, 19.
So that's a change. But I support anything we can do that helps benefit our employees, wage-wise or whatever, but also encourages them to save money, and that's what the 401k does to help them. Listen, there's a lot of people out there, and I come from the workforce where I live paycheck to paycheck. We didn't have any way to save money except if you don't see it and it's put in there, then it's a plus for you, and it'll pay off later on in life for sure. But I'm good with whatever we decide as a board. I know that we got some money put back for contingency for the building, and it's obviously costing us more money than what we thought, but that's money that we can adjust to. So I feel good. I feel blessed that we have a budget as strong as we do.
Pat?
I think the Opers deal, in my opinion, I thought this the first time I heard it. What was that, last week or a week before? I think that's a no-brainer anyway.
No matter what, yeah.
I think that's fantastic if people see a cash raise right off the bat. That's a pretty good deal. Secondly, the longevity. I would certainly be in favor of doubling it from 25 to 50. And I think there's probably a happy medium in there, hourly wage wise, that could be met, and where all offices would be happy with and would be pleasing to the budget as well. That's what I have to say.
Okay, Cindy, explain the Opers deal one more.
Okay, the Opers presently, right now, the county pays 10.5% and the employees pay 8.5%. And it's already, you're already taxed on all of that anyway. Your FICA,
the employee.
the employee, the FICA, the SUDA, all that's already taken into consideration. So if we just change it and the county pays 15.5 and the employee pays 3.5, that is an automatic 5% cash in your check take home deal. It doesn't cost the county. It costs the county just the 5% base. We don't pay any more FICA. We don't pay any more SUDA. We pay no more FUTA. It doesn't change that portion of it, but it definitely helps the employee. So,
it'll reduce their gross. Does the FICA and stuff comes off of that will reduce their gross. So it should help the employee on their taxes as well. Not a lot, but
it shouldn't be any different on their taxes
because
they're already getting taxed on it anyway.
Their gross is, I don't know what their gross is.
Say $2,000.
Say $2,000 is gross. Well, they're already taking SUDA and FUTA unless they've cafeteria. You can cafeteria plan some of your insurance and stuff like that. But the retirement, you're already paying the FICA on the retirement. You cannot. You cannot.
It's not deferred.
It's not. No, the deferred comp is different. I think so.
Okay, we would get taxes because if we pull it back out, they don't tax us to pull that money back out.
Yeah, so
it's already been so it's already been taxed when we put it in. Yeah.
The only difference it's going to be to the county, and it doesn't affect most of us. It would probably affect the sheriff's office more. Is because when the employee puts their money in the pot, and we put the money in the pot for Opers, and the employee stays a year, they can pull all their money back out, but the money that the county's put in is lost.
It's gone.
It doesn't go to them, and it doesn't come back to us. They have to be they have to be vested. Thank
7
you.
years to be
Vested.
yeah.
So but we don't seem to here at the courthouse have a high turnover, of employees. So I don't think I consider that. So I think we all agree the 5% on the OPRs is an easy deal.
Yeah, I think
Right?
that's a
Okay,
no-brainer.
we'll put those in our budget. That doesn't change anything in your budget cash-wise because it just means that the benefits got to be increased because
Right.
now the county's going to pick that up. So that budget will have to be increased.
Right.
Okay. The next thing is was talking about the longevity, and if we're really truly wanting to try to do something for our employees that are been here longer, do you feel like doubling it? Do you feel like increasing it? Do you feel like let's hear some numbers. You threw out $50.
I think about $50 would be good, or even no more than 75. I don't think that.
Well, I was at 50.
I mean, jeans would be, if you did 75, I just checked hers would be like $1,050.
Okay, because she's been here what?
14 years.
14 years. So 14 years, yeah, that's $1,050. That's a pretty big check. That's a big.
That's when she got here. She came in November.
Yeah. So.
Or 50.
Yeah, 50.
Honestly.
Okay. So I think we agreed that we can raise that. We can discuss whether we want to raise it to 50 or to 75. Okay. I would like to throw out there as officers, we are getting a $25 a month raise. So I think that that's safe to say that all officers, if you're an officer or something like that, if you're in the Class A, officers obviously are not the same as elected officers, but maybe we could look at the 25 for like Robin and for Brandon. That's what the officials are getting, so maybe we could look at a $25 raise for those. I don't know how that affects you. I don't think we can